CBS19 News for the latest updates for that.
Ups and downs on that forecast, but fortunately no like 70s or 80s to deal with this week.
Right. It feels a lot more like January.
It does. That's nice. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. We're not done yet. You know, we've got another hour of Morning Y'all starting at 7 a.m. on CBS19 Plus. Download that app for free on your smart TV. We'll see you in a few and dark and early tomorrow morning. Right now at 7, a former CISD police officer, Adrian Gonzalez, returns to court this morning. We have a recap of the latest proceedings. President Trump says he is weighing military action against Iran as protests there spread, and we have details and why the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell says the president is targeting him with a politically motivated investigation. Plus, flu cases spiking across East Texas, how doctors' offices are dealing with a new strain of the flu, and what you can do to stay healthy.
And a very cold start to the day, but we'll end up with some slightly warmer temperatures into this afternoon. We'll take a look at that 7-day forecast coming up. So stay right there because Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
The trial for a former Uvalde CISD police officer is picking up again later this morning in its second week of testimony. Adrian Gonzalez faces 29 counts of child endangerment. This is connected to the 2022 mass shooting at Robb Elementary. Today, prosecutors were told could call responding officers to the stand, as well as jurors hearing dispatch audio and seeing body camera video from inside that response. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez is on assignment. Thank you so much for joining us on air and on CBS 19 Plus. Don't forget your jacket as you get ready to head out this morning. It's kind of cold out there this morning. I wouldn't even say it's chilly. It's just cold.
Yeah, it is just straight up cold out there. And for some of us, we're still in the 20s and we just kind of have a mix of 20s and 30s. Definitely a bundle up kind of a morning out there. A little bit of a blanket of cloud cover overhead, but you can kind of see the sun starting to peek through there. On our Roberts cam looking south on Broadway, 36 is the current temperature in Tyler. Winds calm, so no wind chill factor this morning. We're down to 26 in Mount Pleasant, 28 in Mineola, 30 Gilmer, 32 right at freezing in Nacogdoches, 38 in Jacksonville, also right at freezing in Henderson and Longview. Overall, a very cold morning to start, and we'll end up continuing to see that mix of clouds into the rest of today and into the afternoon. Upper 50s to low 60s by the early parts of the afternoon. I think we'll have a chance to hit 60 for the later parts of the afternoon. South wind holding on at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, these conditions will be fluctuating throughout the week. We'll also have a little bit of a chance to rain to talk about. That's all coming up in your full forecast.
Thank you, Joel. An East Texas man is in custody this morning in a 7-year-old case involving the murder of a father and daughter in Henderson County. Now, according to the sheriff's office, Lance Caden Rains was arrested for the murder of Gabriel and Beverly McBride. The killings took place back on December 10th of 2018, where both McBrides were found with gunshot wounds. Gabriel McBride was found alive, but he later died after being taken to the hospital. Rains has been charged with capital murder. His bond is set at $2 million. We're now entering the second week of the trial of former Uvalde CISD officer Adrian Gonzalez in Corpus Christi. Now, in just a couple of hours, jurors could see and hear some of the most critical evidence yet in the trial. Former school police officer Adrian Gonzalez is facing 29 counts of child endangerment. Today, prosecutors may call responding officers to the stand, and jurors could hear that dispatch audio and see body camera video from inside the response that day. From a mistrial hearing to emotional testimony, Raina Kaur brings us a recap of what has happened so far.
It's a historic case, as Adrian Gonzalez is the first officer in Texas to face such charges.
9-year-old Eliana Garcia's mom, Jennifer Garcia, took the stand as the last witness Friday.
I want to say we were the second, third to last parents. At the end of the day, about 9-10 to find out that one of our children was one of the deceased.
Her emotional recount marking the end of a tough first week. Adrian Gonzalez, a former Uvalde CISD police officer, was one of the first on scene on May 24th, 2022, when a gunman shot and killed 19 students and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary School. He pleaded not guilty to 29 felony counts of child abandonment or endangerment. Prosecution believes Gonzalez's actions failed the victims.
That gunman then walks down the hallway, gets to room 111 and 112, the entryway, and fires in the neighborhood of 20 shots in the hallway. And Adrian Gonzalez remains.
Defense argues Gonzalez did what he could
to get this information, understand it, communicate it, figure it out, and it's about what, and also protect himself and the teacher. I mean, he's trying to make sure that both of them are not being shot at because they don't know. That's 1 minute of time. This isn't a man waiting around. This isn't a man failing to act.
After a day of testimony, the case almost ended in a mistrial due to new claims in a teacher's statement at the stand. Judge Sid Harrell eventually ruling that teacher's testimony would be excluded. Teachers also took the stand, mapping out the shooter's movements from that day.
As he was shooting through the window and the kids were directly across, and I thought I made the worst mistake I had ever made.
Law enforcement who processed the scene explained where the bullets came from before entering the classrooms. The defense maintains Gonzalez never saw the shooter. Prosecutors aim to convince jurors that Gonzalez's inaction that day placed children's lives in danger. Jurors will have to decide whether this alleged inaction rises to the level of a crime.
I'll be in Corpus Christi this week covering the trial. You can follow along with our coverage on air and online.
And we are providing that gavel-to-gavel coverage for you on CBS 19 Plus right now. Throughout the trial, reporters from across Texas and a panel of legal experts will walk us through the evidence presented in the case. And we'll also be offering analysis that you won't find anywhere else. Download CBS 19 Plus on your smart TV. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says the Fed has been served with subpoenas as he now faces a federal criminal investigation. President Trump nominated Powell during his first term, but has since bashed him over the Fed's hesitation to lower interest rates quickly. CBS News correspondent Bradley Blackburn has more.
We're looking at some very strong options.
President Trump says he's weighing possible military strikes and other options against Iran, days after he warned the U.S. would get involved if Iran killed anti-government protesters.
Iran wants to negotiate. A meeting is being set up, but we may have to act because of what's happening before the meeting.
U.S. activists say more than 500 protesters have been killed in the violence surrounding the demonstrations. An Iranian lawmaker has threatened to retaliate against U.S. military assets in the region if the U.S. strikes.
If they do that, we will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before.
This, as diplomatic sources say, U.S. and Danish officials are expected to meet Wednesday to discuss President Trump's push to acquire Greenland from Denmark.
I'd love to make a deal with them. It's easier. But one way or the other, we're going to have Greenland.
Meanwhile, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says he's the target of a federal investigation.
The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president.
President Trump has repeatedly slammed his own Fed chair pick, frustrated the Fed board hasn't lowered interest rates as fast as he wants.
He's a fool. He's a stupid man.
Powell says the DOJ probe is tied to congressional testimony he gave last summer regarding a massive Fed buildings renovation project that even he acknowledges has exceeded initial estimates. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
It is 7:10, time for your morning headlines. Throughout the nation, demonstrators took to the city streets over the weekend to protest the shooting death of 37-year-old Renee Good. She was killed by an ICE agent last week while driving her SUV down a snowy Minneapolis street. State officials in Minnesota say they want to be a part of the investigation looking into Good's shooting death, but the White House says the case will be investigated exclusively by the FBI. Music fans are mourning the passing of Grateful Dead co-founder and lead guitarist Bob Weir. According to a statement posted to his Instagram page, Weir died of lung complications. He entertained legions of loyal followers, famously known as Deadheads, for 60 years, dating back to the Grateful Dead's launch in San Francisco back in 1965. Bob Weir was 78. Google has unveiled its Universal Commerce Protocol, new AI-powered shopping tool that the tech giant wants to make standard for retailers. Google says its UPC was developed in partnership with several major companies, including Shopify, Target, and Walmart, and that soon shoppers will be able to check out items from eligible U.S. retailers while researching them using that search engine. The announcement comes months after OpenAI announced its instant checkout feature to allow users to buy products they've researched in ChatGPT. And Avatar: Fire and Ash blazed to the top of the domestic box office for the fourth weekend in a row with more than $21 million. The chimp horror movie Primate premiered in the second spot, earning more than $11 million, and The Housemaid was close third after also taking in over $11 million. A new strain of the flu is spreading across the country, and doctors say this one could be more dangerous than in years past. East Texas health officials warn that the H3N2 variant is causing more severe symptoms, especially for children and older adults. CBS 19's Ayana Aird has more on what you need to know.
This year, a new influenza variant H3N2 is posing a serious risk to people across the country. Health officials say this strand is more resistant to the current flu vaccine.
But those who are vaccinated can also have more symptoms with this one. It's why it can be a little more dangerous for young kids and for older people as well.
Dr. Anna Block with UT Health East Texas says they have seen an increase in cases across East Texas since December.
The symptoms are more evident, like flu-like symptoms, which are nasal congestion, coughing, runny nose.
She says there has already been a reported child death this year.
For kids, young kids and older people, they have less resistance to the viral infection. So they need to seek their medical providers more as soon as they have any symptoms.
The easiest ways to prevent the spread includes washing your hands, covering your cough, and seeking medical care if you start to feel sick.
Or one of your people in your house feeling sick, flu-like symptoms including nasal congestion, cough, sneezing,
or any other flu-like symptoms. It's important to contact your medical provider.
So it's not too late. Go and have your vaccine if you didn't get it yet.
For CBS19, I'm Ayana Aird.
Again, health officials are stressing that it is not too late to get that flu vaccine. The season usually peaks in January and February and can last until March. Time for hot takes and hot brews, where the coffee's strong and the opinions, well, even stronger. Here's our question of the day. What is your go-to breakfast food in the morning?
I would say, I mean, especially given this shift, it's usually, it's kind of hard to eat breakfast, but I mean, when I get here, I'll eat a protein bar.
Yeah.
But if I had to like sit down and have a good breakfast, I mean, pancakes, waffles and sausage, waffles and chicken. I would say those are my go-tos.
Yeah, on a work week, it's, same for me, like a protein bar or an energy bar. Today, I actually brought protein yogurt and I'm going to put some berries in it.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Trying to be very healthy in the new year.
That's good.
I'm not a huge breakfast person. I think I've said that on here like a million times.
Me either.
But I do like bacon. So if there's bacon and toast, I'm down for that on a regular day.
There you go.
I'm not frying up bacon today, though.
Right. I'll take a nice brunch.
I don't see. I'm not even. I just
not
don't
even a
like.
brunch person?
I just don't like breakfast food.
Yeah.
It's very sweet for the most part.
Yeah, that's
and I'm
fair.
not a huge egg person.
Mm-hmm. Me either. I mean, it's starting to grow on me a little bit more, but I've never been a huge egg guy.
Yeah, me neither.
I love sausage, but even the patties, I'm not really too fond of either.
But we want to know, what's your favorite breakfast? They tell us it's the most important meal of the day. I'm eating something.
Yes, we're eating something.
Something. It's just not your traditional, I guess, breakfast. Well, today, it's very cold again today. It's just a crazy weather situation that we've had since the start of winter. It hasn't felt much like it, but today, a little bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The past several days, we've been very mild. Today, we are a little bit more back on regularly scheduled program when it comes to the weather, for sure. And you know what? Things are looking pretty good on the roadways as well.
Nice.
And they're looking fantastic. As we take a look at I-20 and US 69, the cold temperatures, definitely going to want to make sure you warm up the car this morning, but otherwise, nothing to impact your travel plans this morning. 2 hours over to Dallas, hour and 30 minutes over to Shreveport, nice and clear. On I-20, US 69, nice and clear as well. 2.5 hours up to Denison, hour and 30 minutes down south towards Lufkin. We have 55 minutes from Jacksonville to Nacogdoches. We have 40 minutes from Tyler to Longview. Tyler to Palestine is up to 55 minutes, and Tyler to Athens up to 45 minutes this morning. We have our current visibilities at 10 miles all across the board. Things are looking fantastic. Nice, cool, and dry air, eliminating any sort of fog. We'll continue to see that deck of clouds last throughout the entire day, and temperatures will inch their way into the low 60s. But as for your commute forecast, looking fantastic all the way through the day.
Well, that is some good news. Thank you, Joel. Well, life has a way of throwing us curveballs, right? But some surprises are off the charts. As Adriana de Alba shows us, a mom who was expecting a miracle got more than she ever imagined.
And here he is.
Life is full of surprises.
That's just wild.
Marky Smith's baby delivery was expected.
My favorite one is his little wrist roll right here.
But the way the birth room erupted was not.
Everybody, the whole room just was like, oh my God, like what? And they pulled the curtain down and he was just massive.
Her giant baby boy, born in Arlington, weighing in at nearly 13 pounds.
Just rolls for days. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. Like, he looks like the Michelin Man.
His pre-picked name, Canyon, turned out to be the perfect fit.
He's my chunky boy.
He now goes by Grand Canyon.
I had gestational diabetes. You're to be expected to have a larger baby, but my last two were 8.5 both. So I was expecting maybe a 10-pound baby, but definitely not a 12-pound baby.
12 pounds and 10.5 ounces to be exact.
And there's his fat rolls. He's a good boy.
And perfectly healthy.
He's 3 weeks old, wearing 3-month-old clothes.
A big bundle of joy, arriving via C-section just days before Christmas, during a time the Azel mom needed him most.
God blessed me with this baby, and I was going through some hardships last year.
There was the loss of her mom and a bad breakup, but the love around Canyon's arrival marks a new day.
Literally, he saved my life.
A Texas-sized baby, she says.
Like, who has a 13-pound baby? Like, what?
Was a Christmas miracle.
I just don't understand. I didn't think babies got this big.
In Arlington, I'm Adriana D'Alba.
Oh, so sweet. Glad they're both healthy and doing well. Well, from the turf to the baseball diamond, there are some big moves on and off the field. All that coming up in sports next.
It's time for CBS19 Sports.
Well, hello and welcome to Sports. I'm Jimmy Searfoss. We're glad you're with us, and you know what? It's safe to call this the best season in Texas running back history, right? Kagan Ash knocked another one on top of all of his accolades yesterday, so let's just go over all of them. He broke the all-time rushing yards record. He broke the single-season rushing yards record. He won the Sporting News two-way player of the year, and then he broke the all-time single-season points record. That one was a national record, and now he's won the two-way player of the year for Dave Campbell's Texas football. This award goes to the best player in 2A ball, and honestly, this one was kind of just a one-horse race. He's got a bit more hardware now to leave behind as he turns his attention towards Lubbock and Texas Tech after, of course, basketball season. Hey, TJC's Trey Guerra was the best junior college quarterback available in the transfer portal, and the teams took notice. I mean, all of them. LSU, Arkansas, Florida State, Texas Tech, big-time schools all offered. There was 18 total on the table for the Apache leader, and he announced his decision yesterday. Coastal Carolina is getting a good one, people. Guerra averaged 234 yards a game through 24 touchdowns on the season, and when he was on the field, he was a huge reason TJC won so many dang games and won the Southwest Junior College Football Conference title. And now he's headed to the Sun Belt. A lot easier to say. He's the second quarterback commit in the class for the Chanticleer. You know that mascot. It's like a rooster. Well, if you stepped outside anytime this last week, it would have felt like baseball season. But this week, it's really happening. January 16th, this Friday, marks the first practice for high school baseball in East Texas, and it's looking to be strong, especially in a few classifications like 4A. I mean, what sport in East Texas wasn't good at 4A? Spring Hill's on a mission to repeat as a state champion. Pleasant Grove is looking for another tough run. Keep an eye out for Lindale. They return a lot of starters, and Carthage, who's consistently a good baseball team. Spring ball right around the corner, people. Hey, Houston showed up for the Texans yesterday as they left for Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers tonight. This will be a really big one, and there aren't many teams hotter than the Texans. They're winners of 9 straight ball games, operating under a defense that's been an absolute nightmare for teams. But they're playing Aaron Rodgers, who's no stranger to strange visions. And the Texans, they know they need to throw him off his game if they're going to have one of their own.
And, you know, everybody want to talk about sacks, but, man, affecting the quarterback comes in so many ways. Batting the ball down, getting him off his spot, getting him to move around the pocket, getting him to throw interceptions, stuff like that, pressures, all that type of stuff.
It's playoff football. You know, it's win or go home right now. And, you know, the Steelers, that's a very talented team. They're not about to just come in here and lay down. And especially their offense, a very talented offense, especially with a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. He's seen everything so far. So we got to go in there and do our job.
Monday, 7:15, Texans will be playing a team that hasn't won a playoff game since 2016, but also hasn't lost a Monday Night Football game since 1992. Unstoppable force, immovable object, you know the deal. That's all I got for you. Morning, y'all.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. We're about to step away for a moment while we break in for our over-the-air broadcast news update. We'll be right back with more here on CBS 19 Plus.
East Texas, it's game day.
And our lineup has never been cuter.
This January, we're teaming up with the SPCA of East Texas for Pop Forward, a month of stories that put rescue pets in the spotlight.
From the underdogs to the rising stars.
We're kicking off a mission to help every dog and cat get their shot at a forever home. And your support fuels the SPCA's life-saving work.
Every dollar helps animals right here in East Texas.
Join us January 30th for Pop Forward Day of Giving.
And help us score a win for animals in our community.
Sponsored by Pelche Subaru.
Good morning, y'all. Thanks for being with us for this news update. I'm Dana Dixon. An East Texas man is in custody this morning in a 7-year-old cold case involving the murder of a father and daughter in Henderson County. According to the sheriff's office, Lance Caden Rains was arrested for the murder of Gabriel and Beverly McBride. The killings took place on December 10th, 2018, where both McBrides were found with gunshot wounds. Gabriel McBride was found alive but later died after being taken to the hospital. Rains has been charged with capital murder. His bond is set at $2 million. A protest over ICE taking place in several cities, including right here in East Texas. This was the scene in Lindale, organized by the Smith County Young Democrats to demand accountability following the shooting death of a woman by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. Organizers say the demonstration highlights concerns over federal immigration enforcement tactics and what they call an unjust killing. Doctors across East Texas are seeing a troubling rise in flu cases driven by a new strain that's spreading nationwide. Health officials warn that the H3N2 variant is causing more severe symptoms, especially for children and older adults. Dr. Anna Block with UT Health East Texas says that they've seen an increase in cases since last month, and she says there's preventable measures that you can take to keep yourself and those around you safe.
Prevention is really based on washing your hands. If you have symptoms, prevent to be in contact with other people, protect your cough, wash your hands more frequently, seek a medical provider if you're feeling more sick. In young kids, it's very, very important to make sure they have their vaccines. It's not too late to get vaccinated yet.
Yeah, I want to say that again. Health officials are stressing that it is not too late to get that flu vaccine. The season usually peaks in January and February and can last till March. There's also a home test that can help detect the flu. For more information, go to CBS19.tv. Now let's head over to Joel to talk about these cold temperatures out there this morning.
Yeah, we got some very cold temperatures. Some of us still in the 20s. We'll be in the 30s and eventually the 60s by the afternoon. A little bit more seasonable for this time of year. We'll also be tracking a couple showers heading into the area for tomorrow. And again, we're going to be watching for another batch of some cooler air, multiple rounds of it into the next several days. Here's what it looks like in your future skycast. So for today, again, 50s and near 60, mix of clouds and sun. Then we'll be dropping down into the upper 30s, low 40s, clearing out briefly before clouds make a return, especially over deep East Texas. Those will turn into a couple of rain showers across deep East Texas as we move into our Tuesday. But by Wednesday, we are going to be watching for this next batch of clouds, winds eventually shifting out of the north. That is our next cold front. As you can see with your 7-day forecast here, 60s down to the 50s, bouncing around. Next chance of rain will be moving in this weekend.
.30 now. Welcome back to Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. It's being called the largest strike in New York City history. Why nearly 15,000 nurses are walking off their job today. And after losing 2 young sons in a house fire, one East Texas family isn't facing grief alone. Find out how the East Texas community is rallying behind the family after this.
And temperatures will be bouncing around this week as we introduce our next round of some Arctic air coming into the area. We'll talk more about it coming up in your forecast later this half hour.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good Monday morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez is on assignment. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us right here on CBS 19 Plus. The trial for a former Uvalde CISD police officer is picking up again later this morning. In its second week of testimony, Adrian Gonzalez faces 29 counts of child endangerment. Now, this is connected to the 2022 mass shooting at Robb Elementary. Today, prosecutors may call responding officers to the stand, and jurors could hear dispatch audio and see body camera video from inside that response. On the day back in 2022, it took law enforcement 77 minutes to act and kill the shooter. Throughout the first week of the trial, jurors heard testimony from victims' family members, former teachers who survived the shooting, and law enforcement officers who investigated in the aftermath of the shooting.
The gunman then walks down the hallway Gets to room 111 and 112, the entryway, and fires in the neighborhood of 20 shots in the hallway. And Adrian Gonzalez remains.
Now, prosecutors aim to convince jurors that Gonzalez's inaction that day placed children's lives in danger. Jurors will have to decide whether the alleged inaction rises to the level of a crime. We are providing gavel-to-gavel coverage for you here on CBS 19 Plus. Throughout the trial, reporters from across Texas and a panel of legal experts will walk us through the evidence presented in the case, and we'll also be offering analysis that you won't find anywhere else. Don't forget to download CBS 19 Plus on your smart TV. 2 duck hunters were saved from a sinking boat on Cedar Creek Lake over the weekend. Now, this happened just after 10 Saturday morning at Cedar Creek near Oak Hill Drive in 7 Points. Crews found the 2 hunters about 500 yards from the shore. At the time of the rescue, there were high winds and waves, which reduced visibility, complicating those rescue efforts. The 2 hunters were rescued from the water, treated by EMS, and then taken to the hospital. The hunters had been in about 56-degree water for 90 minutes or so, but they are expected to be okay. This incident remains under investigation by Texas game wardens who were on the scene during the rescue. New this morning, the city of New York could be facing its biggest nurse strike in history. Thousands of nurses at several major hospitals have gone on strike, and they are walking off the job after negotiations through the weekend failed to yield a breakthrough. The affected hospitals include New York Presbyterian and Mount Sinai. Among the nurses' demands are manageable workloads and more workplace security. Hospitals say the union's demands are too costly. Governor Kathy Hochul has declared a state of emergency, and she worries it could jeopardize critical care for thousands of patients. Tensions are rising between Iran and the U.S. as protests continue against the Iranian regime. Now, we do want to warn you, some of the video you're about to see may be disturbing in nature. Reed Binion reports.
The death toll is mounting in the nationwide anti-government protests in Iran. Hundreds of people have been killed and thousands arrested. As the protests enter a 3rd week, President Donald Trump says Iran called him to negotiate.
The leaders of Iran called, they want to negotiate. I think they're tired of being beat up by the United States. Yes. We may meet with them. I mean, a meeting is being set up.
But the president also said his administration is weighing possible military intervention.
We're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options.
Iranian officials, though, warning American military bases and shipping lanes in the region will be treated as targets for retaliation if the U.S. intervenes militarily. This as outrage, opposition, and grief mount in the streets of Tehran and around the country. Families chanting anti-government slogans as they attend funerals for protesters killed in recent unrest. Protests also taking place in the U.S. Anti-regime demonstrators calling for change. Regime change for Iran. In Los Angeles, authorities detained the driver of a truck that drove through a crowd of anti-Iranian government protesters. Police said 1 person was struck, but the injuries were not significant. Authorities are working to determine the motive. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
And now to some stories from across the state. Protests over ICE taking place in several cities, including right here in East Texas. I'm going to take you to a scene in Lindale Saturday, organized by the Smith County Young Democrats to demand accountability following the shooting death of a woman by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. Organizers say the demonstration highlights concerns over federal immigration enforcement tactics and what they call an unjust killing. And this was the scene in Fort Worth yesterday. Hundreds of demonstrators there as well, hitting the brick roads to voice their displeasure with the handling of that situation in Minnesota. After a December house fire killed 2 young Wascom brothers, East Texas is now stepping up. CBS 19's Robert De La Garza shows us how Carthage residents are turning heartbreaking loss into a powerful show of support.
After 18 years in livestock auction sales, Kevin McDonald has seen a lot pass through the ring at Carthage Livestock Auction. But this one is different. This time, the auction ring has become a call to action for the family of Hector and Isaac Pedraza.
This family needed support, and so we wanted to help.
McDonald says a donated heifer will be auctioned off, with every dollar from the highest bid going directly to the Pedraza family.
I'm hoping around $20,000. We're going to work hard. We're going to try to get as much as we can going to them.
And it's not your typical auction. It's a rollover, meaning the heifer keeps getting bought and donated back to raise more money.
We'll auction it off and to the highest bidder, and then that money goes to the family. They'll donate the animal right back, and we'll auction it off multiple times.
Local businesses have joined the cause, donating feed, equipment, meals, and supplies to be auctioned. Not about money, but reminding a grieving family they're not alone.
There's nothing in the world we can do to bring that family their children back. If we can help them get through this tough time with financial support and replacing their home, replacing their belongings, just building their life back, that's what our goal is.
A goal they'll keep pushing towards until the final bid is called. Now they're asking the public to be a part of it.
It could happen to anybody, our family members or our friends that we have. Nobody is immune from tragedy. So if you can help.
A simple reminder that when one family hurts, a community answers. For CBS 19, I'm Robert De La Garza.
And that auction will be held tomorrow at 11:30 at the Carthage Livestock Auction. That's off of 1914 U.S. Highway 79. 7:38 now. The NFL playoffs are in full swing, and the stakes, well, they couldn't be higher, right? Every team still in the hunt, not just battling for a win, but for a shot at the Super Bowl. Now here's a recap of some of the games played yesterday. Chargers in their NFL wildcard game against the New England Patriots on the road last night. Patriots defense getting the job done and holding the Chargers to just a field goal. In the 16-13 win, Drake May threw for a touchdown in that win. Now turning to the Jaguars, one of their best seasons in team history is over. Jaguars, who hadn't lost a game in over 2 months, were leading with less than 2 minutes to go, but they just couldn't stop Josh Allen and the Bills. They lost in a close one, 27-24 in Jacksonville. Now to Philly, a playoff rivalry between the 49ers and the Eagles. 49ers tight end George Kittle went down in the second quarter with a right Achilles tendon injury, but the Birds, they were in quite a battle against the 49ers all game. Philly could only gain 6 points in the second half, allowing San Fran to pull ahead in the fourth quarter, ending the Eagles' season 23-19. It's 7:40 now. Hope and joy in Indiana. How memes about a busted pickup truck drove one community to help a man when he needed it the most. Here's Steve Hartman on the road.
In South Bend, Indiana, there have now been multiple reports of a UDO, an unidentified driving object.
Good morning.
The whole town is abuzz.
I thought it was AI. I didn't know if it was real.
It's unbelievable how the thing even moved.
I did a double take because I couldn't believe the sight of it.
But it's real, and it belongs to this man.
Wait, is this it?
This is it.
Mo Ryle's truck looks normal enough from the front.
2000 Chevy Silverado 1500.
But start it up and look at it from any other angle, and you'll see why folks have been so shocked at the sight of it.
What in God's name happened to your truck?
Let's go with what didn't happen to it, okay? There's too many documented incidents for me to even go there.
Combine those mishaps with the fact that Indiana does not require vehicle inspections, and you have the makings of a social media frenzy. For the past few months, thousands of people have been sharing their sightings online and mercilessly poking fun.
But a few weeks ago, one local resident saw that wounded duck of a truck limping down the highway and didn't just make a mockery. He made a connection.
I just thought there's got to be something more to why this truck looks like this.
What did you learn?
I just put two and two together that this is this person's only means of transportation.
Colin Crowell, owner of a local detailing shop, met with Mo and soon after launched a crowdfunding campaign to get him a new truck. Raised about $22,000 from about 500 different donors.
That's the part that knocked me over, bam. here's a human being seeing another human being struggle. And I'm like, wow, what did I do to deserve this? You know?
Well, for starters, he has worked hard his whole life, most recently at a Dollar Tree. He's had some health issues lately and could really use a reliable ride to get to doctor's appointments. So, last week, Mo took his truck for one last ride to the local Chevy dealer, where he was gifted this shiny 2019 Silverado. But he says the real gift was far less tangible.
This whole thing is not about me. It's about this community bonding together. God is good.
Once again, evidence that people are good, too. Steve Hartman on the road in South Bend, Indiana.
So good.
How about that?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations to him. And I know he feels the weight off his shoulders this morning.
Right, no, huge weight.
Drive a little safer out there. Well, a manhunt kind of is underway in St. Louis, but officials, they're not looking for a human suspect. Instead, they are searching for several monkeys that are on the loose, and no one knows where they came from. Multiple sightings around the area, there's one again, have now caused neighbors and police to just go bananas.
It's a bunch of monkey business,
It
I
is
tell you.
monkey business, and they can't seem to catch them. They catch pictures of them, but I guess they're too
Right.
fast.
How about
Take off.
Yeah, just plant some bananas somewhere, maybe.
You think that'll do it?
Maybe. That's like stereotypical
It'll
of monkeys.
really be bananas then.
Right, it's true.
Okay, this one is for dog owners. You got to listen to this, but you may already know this about your pup because we all think our puppies are the smartest, right? Turns out our dogs are listening to us even more than we may realize. A study in Hungary found that while many dogs can learn words like sit or down, some gifted dogs can learn hundreds of words through playing with their owners. The study even found dogs can learn words by just overhearing them when their owner is talking to another human. So, if you've ever spelled out walk or treat around your dog, yeah, they probably knew exactly what you meant.
That is fascinating to
Isn't
me.
it?
And it makes sense. I've seen it in my own life too. Just you say certain words and they'll respond, or maybe they'll listen. Like they'll anticipate you saying
Oh,
word
yeah.
based on where you are in the house.
They definitely are listening. My one dog always turns her head just like this, and you're like, what are you waiting for?
Right.
The Chihuahua knows when you say French fries, and she's headed straight to the kitchen and she wants one. They're not
Wow.
good for her tummy, so
No.
maybe she gets one, but
Yeah, it's a very rare occasion.
it's a very rare
Wow.
occasion.
That's
Well, it's been rare lately these days to see cold weather and winter
Yeah.
here in East Texas, but we're getting one of those days today.
Yeah, finally we are. We hit some records last week. It's
crazy.
81.
I was in my bed.
Yes.
Trying to get over
Unfortunately.
whatever this is, but
yes, but now it's she's back, and now everything is back to normal. Even the weather, or the weather. Excuse
I'll
me.
take the credit, I guess.
Yeah, the weather is back to normal as we head into this week, and got a nice mix of some upper level to mid level clouds, and the sun is starting to peek out a little bit out of Roberts and Robertsham. Still very cold out there. Temperatures around 36 degrees, and winds nice and calm. So luckily not a issue with the wind chill this morning, but still very cold, especially off to the north in Mount Pleasant, down to 27 degrees. We got 28 in Marshall, Jefferson, 30 in Carthage. Some of us, again, at or below freezing. So certainly some colder temperatures out there. And again, luckily no wind chill out there, but still definitely a morning where you'll definitely want to bundle up. It's still feeling uncomfortably cold out there. And for this afternoon, we'll still see those temperatures increase into the upper 50s to low 60s, just a little bit above average, but a little bit more seasonal as we head into today. And that cloud deck continuing to stick with us for the next several hours. Again, 60 degrees for today. South winds light at 5 to 10 miles per hour. We will see an increase in those winds for tomorrow, and then we'll eventually see a shift in the winds out of the north, gusting between 30 and 35 miles per hour. There is a lot to talk about here. Despite it being so quiet, we got a chance of rain to deal with. Cooler temperatures. It's going to be a wild ride. Stick around for your latest forecast.
All right, thank you, Joel. Well, Hollywood gathers for the 83rd Golden Globes. Coming up, the big moments and the big winners in film, TV, and now podcasts. 7:49. Welcome back. Movie, TV, and streaming stars gathering in Beverly Hills last night for the 83rd Golden Globe Awards. Bradley Blackburn has more on the big winners and the big moments.
In a star-studded Beverly Hills ballroom, the star of Marty Supreme reigns supreme. Beating out fellow nominees George Clooney and Leonardo DiCaprio, Timothée Chalamet took home Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy.
I'm in a category with many greats. This category is stacked. I look up to all of you. Thank you.
The film, one battle after another, won Best Picture Comedy or Musical, Best Director for Paul Thomas Anderson, and Best Supporting Actress for Tiana Taylor. Hamnet won Best Picture Drama and Best Actress for Jessie Buckley.
Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters.
Golden Globes for Best Song and Best Animated Film went to K-Pop Demon Hunters, while in television, The Pit won Best TV Drama. Star Noah Wiley and creators honored real-life first responders.
Healthcare workers who are the real heroes.
Seth Rogen's The Studio won for Best TV Musical or Comedy, and the award in a new category, Best Podcast, went to a familiar name, former Globes host Amy Poehler.
I'm big fans of all of you, except for NPR. Just a bunch of celebs phoning it in, so try harder.
Yes, the Golden Globes, without a doubt the most important thing that's happening in the world right now.
Returning host Nikki Glaser roasted the room and the industry and capped it off honoring the late Rob Reiner.
Well, that's our show. This one went to 11.
A nod to Spinal Tap on a big night for Hollywood. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Another former Golden Globes host took home an award last night, comedian Ricky Gervais. Well, he won Best Stand-Up Comedy for his special, Mortality. All right, let's get a check of your weather on this Monday. How's the week looking for us, Joel?
Yeah, I mean, overall pretty quiet, but we certainly have a lot going on with our temperatures. They're very seasonable at this point, but we will be expecting those temperatures to be kind of bouncing all over the place as we head into this week. We got our next batch of some cooler Arctic air that will be kind of spilling in, and that'll come in multiple rounds here over the next few days. Also tracking a little bit of a shower chance on Tuesday as well. So here it is, the Arctic air spilling into parts of the Great Lakes. Again, that will start to kind of drop into East Texas over the coming days as well. That'll come in the form of multiple cold fronts. So we'll be kind of bouncing up and down between cold fronts. We'll recover and then we go back down. We'll recover and then go back down. It's kind of a roller coaster, if you will. So that is what we have as we head into the next several days. Here's what it looks like on future skycasts. So again, 50s for today, mix of clouds and sun. Will continue to be in that mix of clouds and sun for tonight as well, and through the day tomorrow, this time adding a little bit of rain in the mix across deep East Texas. And again, not really going to be too impactful. Actually, most everybody will be missing out, but deep East Texas will have the best chance to see those showers. And again, this is going to be ahead of our cold front here, this cloud cover here, and that will continue to drop south. You notice the winds now coming out of the north. That's some cooler air beginning to drop down into East Texas. So it'll be in the 50s in the meantime on Wednesday, and that will make a little bit of a decrease in those temperatures for Thursday. And on top of that, gusty winds behind the cold front as well, heading into Wednesday, 30 to 35 mile an hour gusts, easing up to around 15 to 20 miles per hour for Wednesday evening. Slightly above average in the meantime, but as soon as we get some of that cooler weather, we are going to be slightly below average by around 5 to 10 degrees or so. But here's what it looks like, kind of up and down here, especially the second half of the week, down to 52, back to 60, and then 50s for the weekend. And we are going to be watching for our next chance of rain after that. Still kind of trying to nail down the timing for that, but we'll keep you updated throughout the week.
Alrighty, time for hot takes and hot brews, where the coffee's strong and you know the opinions, well, they're even stronger. This one's pretty easy though. What's your go-to breakfast food in the morning?
Well, you know what? Recently I have had like the Chick-fil-A breakfast. That's really good too. I guess that's kind of a go-to recently.
What do you get though at Chick-fil-A?
I get the sandwich.
The sandwich?
Like the full-on sandwich. Sometimes I get the little bites, you know.
The chicken minis?
Yeah, the chicken minis.
That's
but I
what
like
I'd go
the whatever it is, the number one with the chicken and the eggs and the cheese.
Is there sausage on it?
don't think so.
That would be McDonald's. They don't have sausage there.
Right, yeah, true.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. It would be chicken.
I just said that my brain was still a little working out the congestion.
That is okay.
Blame that on that. Okay. Someone said earlier, Daryl said it's wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. I like that.
There you go.
I'm not a huge egg person, but I'm with you on the bakey. Jackie says she's going to go for a sausage biscuit with strawberry jam. And this is one I'd never heard before from Matt. He said mayonnaise smoothie with whipped cream and chocolate syrup. Do you think he's being real about that?
That is new.
First.
That is a first. That is new to me.
That's what I said. I responded. I said, I've never heard of a mayo smoothie. Do tell.
Yeah, that is, I'm very curious.
You know, if I was going to be completely indulgent, I'd go for a pecan waffle. I do like a waffle.
Oh, me too. I'm more of a waffle guy than a pancake
Me
guy.
too, because they're crispy.
Yeah, I like the crunch.
I do too. I like the crunch as well.
Yes.
All right, tell us what your favorite breakfast is. We're always talking about food here on Morning Y'all. We just want to keep you hungry. All righty, well, we're about to step away here for a moment while we break into our over-the-air broadcasts. We've got a news update coming for you. We'll be right back with more on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us for this news update. The trial for a former Uvalde CISD police officer is picking up again later this morning in its second week of testimony. Adrian Gonzalez faces 29 counts of child endangerment. This is connected to the 2022 mass shooting at Robb Elementary. Today, prosecutors may call responding officers to the stand, and jurors could hear dispatch audio and see body camera video from inside that response. On that day back in 2022, it took law enforcement 77 minutes to act and kill the shooter. Throughout the first week of the trial, jurors heard testimony from victims' family, former teachers who survived the shooting, and law enforcement officers who investigated the aftermath of the shooting.
The gunman then walks down the hallway, gets to room 111 and 112, the entryway, and fires in the neighborhood of 20 shots in the hallway. And Adrian Gonzalez remains.
Prosecutors aim to convince jurors that Gonzalez's inaction that day placed children's lives in danger. Jurors will have to decide whether this alleged inaction rises to the level of a crime. We're providing gavel-to-gavel coverage of that on CBS 19 Plus. Throughout the trial, reporters from across Texas and a panel of legal experts will walk us through the evidence presented. And we'll also be offering analysis that you won't find anywhere else. You can download the app for free on your smart TV. 2 duck hunters were saved from a sinking boat on Cedar Creek Lake over the weekend. It happened just after 10 Saturday morning at Cedar Creek Lake near Oak Hill Drive in 7 Points. Now, crews found the 2 hunters about 500 yards from shore. At the time of the rescue, they were experiencing high winds and waves, which reduced visibility and complicated those rescue efforts. The 2 hunters were rescued from the water, treated by EMS, and taken to the hospital. They had been in about 56-degree water for 90 minutes or so, but they are expected to be okay. This incident remains under investigation by the Texas game wardens who were on the scene during the rescue. Cold start to our Monday. Let's check in with Joel.
Yeah, certainly a cold start, but we are in for a little bit more seasonable pattern into this week. It will be kind of a fluctuating pattern as well, as we are going to be watching our next batch of some Arctic air spilling into the country. A couple showers also are going to be a possibility across some parts of the area into tomorrow, but most everybody should be staying dry. 50s for today. Have a couple of clouds into this afternoon. Clouds will continue to stick around into your Tuesday morning as well. Upper 30s, low 40s. A lot more cloud cover for your Tuesday afternoon. Some of that will become rain showers, especially south of I-20. In areas like Palestine, Jacksonville, Carthage, you'll have the best chance for rain. And then another batch of clouds will be moving in from the north. And notice you have this wind coming out of the north as well. And that is going to be marking our next cold front, which is going to basically kind of pinball our temperatures around as we head into the second half of the week. And alongside of that, we are going to be watching for our next chance of rain this weekend.
News before you go on this Monday morning. An East Texas man is in custody in a 7-year-old case, cold case that is, involving the murders of a father and daughter in Henderson County. According to the sheriff's office, Lance Caden Rains has been arrested for the murder of Gabriel and Beverly McBride. He's in custody now with a bond set at $2 million. The killings took place back on December 10th of 2018, where both McBrides were found with gunshot wounds. Rains has been charged with capital murder. We're now entering the second week of the trial for former Uvalde CISD officer Adrian Gonzalez in Corpus Christi. Today, prosecutors may call responding officers to the stand, and jurors could hear dispatch audio and see that body camera video from inside the response. Former school police officer Gonzalez is facing 29 counts of child endangerment. And a new flu strain is spreading across the country, and doctors say it could be more dangerous than in years past. East Texas health officials warn the H3N2 variant is causing more severe symptoms, especially for children and older adults. Health officials stress that it's not too late to get that flu vaccine. Let's get a final check of your forecast as we head out on this Monday.
Yeah, an overall pretty quiet pattern settling into the area. Now we have a little bit of a chance for a couple showers for tomorrow, but I think most everybody will be missing out and will stay pretty dry in the meantime. The big story here is our next Arctic blast. Arctic blast. It's more so going to be in effect for areas like the Great Lakes, but some of that will be coming down to East Texas, and that'll bring our temperatures down into the low 50s for highs. But you notice the lows down into the low 30s, kind of like this morning. Some of us could actually see some 20s out there. That'll continue to be the case into the second half of the week. Temperatures kind of fluctuating a little bit, and we are going to be watching for that second cold front into this weekend that could bring us a little bit of a chance for rain. And again, we are still kind of nailing down the timing, so you'll want to keep it here at CBS 19 for the latest weather updates.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Joel. Well, it's that time of year again. National Clean Off Your Desk Day. You have the day dedicated to decluttering that pile of papers, mini coffee mugs maybe, and random office supplies that you've been dodging doing. Experts say a tidy workspace isn't just about looking neat. It can also boost productivity, reduce your stress, and even spark some creativity. So grab a trash bag, file those papers away, and maybe treat yourself to a little extra desk space. Your future self, and maybe even your boss, will thank you and us for reminding you.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good idea for today. I need to do that with my desk at home? My home, yeah, for sure.
I keep a tidy workspace. Sometimes the drawers on the inside can get a little spicy, so I'll check that. But yeah, I don't like too much clutter, because then I'm like wandering.
Right, and sometimes, like, especially for me, I got to figure out, like, okay, what do I keep? And what do I throw away? You know, I got to sit down and like do that. Sometimes I just want to keep too much.
And I need my CBS19 coffee mug every day, so it goes home with me every day, and it gets a good wash-in every day.
There you go. That's perfect.
Well, thanks so much for starting your day with us, or continuing it here on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. You know, you can catch the noon show with us coming up on CBS 19, also on CBS 19 Plus, and keep it here for the latest news and weather throughout the day. We hope you have a great morning, and we'll see you dark and early tomorrow.